Uganda remained peaceful on account of God, a strong army, the other security services, and a supportive population. There were, for instance, some shallow schemes by the local traitors and their foreign sponsors to cause criminality and civil disorder like you saw in Kenya, including gathering demonstrators and shooting them using Iraqi returnees to give the impression that it is the government that killed them. The whole evil scheme was defeated by God, UPDF, the other security agencies, and the people, as pointed out above. However, there is rampant stealing of cattle, goats, etc., and the soft handling by the police and the courts of such criminals through giving them police bonds and court bails. I have raised the issue of bails with His Lordship the Chief Justice, and I have banned the issue of police bonds. Any police personnel that gives a police bond to a village thief when the case is ready for trial will be held fully accountable. Firm legal handling of criminals is very useful. I've shared with you through the social media how recently in my Karamoja trip I was told that a total of 3,000 Karamojong Karachunas, through the efficient and dedicated mechanism of the military court-martial, are in the different jails. 900 of them in Kitaria prison alone. This explains why there is now total peace in Karamoja and the surrounding districts of Acholi, Lango, Teso, Bugisu, and Sebei. It is also good for those Karachunas. Many of them would be dead by now on account of clashing with the UPDF. Let the government introduce skilling to these young people so that when they get out of prisons, they can create wealth and jobs for themselves and for other Ugandans. I congratulate the Ugandans on the good coffee prices. This is because of the drought problems in Brazil, Vietnam, and other coffee-growing countries. It also confirms the correctness of the NRM strategy of its 1996 manifesto of the 4 acres model and 7 activities. When we made these recommendations, we had studied accurately the demand for all the products that to grow in Uganda, and we had studied the demand for those products within Uganda, within Africa, and internationally. We knew they had very good demand. That's why we recommended them in writing to you people. In spite of peace and a robust economy, even when we have not done all that we intend to do, this year has also brought some misery on account of natural disasters. We had the petrol tanker accident at Kigogwa, the landslides in Bulamburi, the floods in Kasese, River Nyamigasani, Kitezi, landslides, etc. This is regrettable, especially when most of it is avoidable. Avoidable how? Do not live or build in a vulnerable area. Who brought this culture of okunyoma? This is the word that came to my head. Kudharau, in Swahili we say dharau, to look down upon God's plans. Let us go back to the book of Genesis, where God commanded that let the dry land be separated from the water. It says in chapter 1, verse 9 as follows. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. I will give a comprehensive report on the occasion of the NRM Day in January 2025. However, I cannot end my short speech without pointing out two issues. One, warning the country about the growing danger of the monkeypox disease, Mpox. This disease is apparently being spread in two ways: contact with a sick person and through sex. The good thing is that it does not go through breathing like corona. Corona was very dangerous. Anybody with blisters of monkeypox, report to the health center and isolate yourself from your family. And secondly, avoid indisciplined sex. Finally, I congratulate Ugandans on the good performance of our sportsmen and women. Ever since 1986, the NRM has been concentrating on peace building and economic recovery. We have not yet concentrated on sports, on music, and other talent-based services. Nevertheless, the mere achievement of peace has already started unleashing star performance by our sportsmen and women in the Olympics, Commonwealth Games, African Games, etc. I congratulate all of them. And we are still using simple techniques of support, like the order we gave of recruiting everybody who has got a high talent into the security forces, into the prisons or the police or the army. This was deliberate. We wanted them to get to have a base from where they can train. When they join the army, we don't send them to Somalia to fight. They stay here training. They get the little salary of the army, of the police, of the prisons, but they get time to train, and they get a base from where to operate. So by having those simple things and some infrastructure, like Nambole, because Nambole was supposed to be built in the 60s, but it couldn't be built. But in our time, we were able to build it. And slowly we are adding on. But in spite of the fact that we have not done what we want to do for sports, because we are busy with peace and with minimum economic recovery. Just because of the peace, you can see the stars who have come up. We have also been honored to be granted the opportunity to host CHAN early next year and AFCON in 2027, along with our brothers and sisters in Kenya and Tanzania. I'm glad the government is working vigorously to ensure that the necessary infrastructure is in place.